Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Thank you for joining me. Today I get to share with you a project using the Type Talk stamp set from Concord 9th. I've been invited to be a guest designer all month long, and so today I'm going to be creating a project using one of the brand new stamp sets. It's actually a bundle. This one here is the Type Talk bundle. The dies are super neat because it has an interactive element, and I had so much fun creating with it. This interactive element is meant for the typewriter, and it's so easy to create with. It creates a hidden message on your project, and so that's what we're going to create today. I'm just going to nip it out and show you that all the sentiments in the stamp set will fit inside your little typewriter paper. There's a blocker at the very bottom that prevents the paper from actually falling out of your project, and I'm going to show you how this works. Super neat sentiments. Click, clack, tap, tap, tap. That's typewriter talk 4, and then you can customize it to put hello, or I like you, or I miss you. Fun, super fun. Sentiments that say hip hip hooray, it's your day. You're my type. Congratulations. That piece there is the piece that we'll die cut out on your background to create the slider portion of your paper. We're going to use that today, but I'll show you how everything works. There's a sentiment that says hi, and then there's typewriter keys in the die set also. The typewriter keys will spell out the word hello, hey, hi, I heart you, love, lovely. Not the full alphabet, but I think the most important words of the alphabet are in there. Now, I also wanted to share with you this stamp set. This is a 2x6 stamp set, and it's a free gift over at the Concord 9th shop. It's exclusive to the Concord 9th shop, but it's a 2x6 stamp set, and it is so pretty, guys. It's a freebie for customers who spend $60 on a single order between now and November 8th, and it's while supplies last. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave the link to the Concord 9th shop down below. Keep a super pretty stamp set. So we're going to jump in and create a typewriter card. We're going to make a vintage style card. I actually have a typewriter. I love old-fashioned typewriters. Mine weighs about 100 pounds, so it stays in the same spot gathering dust bunnies. But it's like an aqua color, an aqua and brownish color. I don't think it's meant to be brownish, but with age, I think that's what happened. But for my typewriter today, I'm going to be using some warm tones, some warm yellows. And then for my sentiment, I stamped the word that says just a note to say ... And then there's 2 rows of hearts underneath there, and then I'm going to have the hello right below it. So inside my typewriter, it will show just a note to say, and then the recipient has to pull it up to say hello. And the nice thing about the stamp set is there is a pull here sentiment inside the stamp set, so you can add that to your project. So I'm going to play a little music while I color my typewriter, and then when I'm done coloring, I will catch you back. Okay, coloring is all done. Now I'm going to take the coordinating dies and die cut out my typewriter, and then also my typewriter paper. And then after everything is die cut, I'm going to use my markers, the same colors that I basically used for my typewriter. I believe it's the YR23 and then the YR27. I'm going to color in my little hearts. And I'm making sure there's enough room on the very top so I can stamp that sentiment that says pull here. So these are my images. We're going to give it a little extra vintage look by adding some vintage photo distress oxide ink around my paper there. And then we're going to color in our little hearts. And I'm alternating the color, so I have a YR23, YR27. Just adding a little color to my message there. This interactive card today is super easy. There's a beautiful floral image in the stamp set, and I love that because if you don't want to use the typewriter, you have this beautiful image. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to ink it up with my oxide ink. Again, this is vintage photo. I'm going to stamp this on some white cardstock. I'm just using Nita 80 pound. I'm going to stamp it twice, and then to create a more vintagey look, I'm going to take my water brush and just spread out the color. I'm going to do it to the leaves and the flowers, just coloring in that floral image. I think this color really works well with the colors I use for the typewriter. It's kind of a little bit subtle, but I just like the way this turned out. Okay, so I'm going to use my heat gun and dry it. It's still a little bit damp, and I am using some pretty thin paper, so I want to make sure that it was nice and dry. I'm going to intensify the color on the inside portion of my flowers using my YR23, and then just adding a little bit of color there. So after I'm done, I'm going to take all three of my markers, and then I'm going to scribble a little section on this panel, and then I'm going to die cut out the typewriter key that has the heart on it. This is neat because it'll die cut out a heart inside a circle, and then an outline of a heart, and then the smaller heart that fits inside. So I'm going to do a little layering with all three of these. I'm going to take the coordinating die that goes with my flowers and die cut that out as well. And then off camera, I colored in two more flourishes, and I didn't use them for this project, but I did use them for another project. If you want to visit the Concord 9th blog, there's tons of inspiration using the Type Talk stamp set over there, and then the second one that I used using the extra pieces here is over there also. So I'll leave the Concord 9th blog down below. Okay, everything is die cut. Now I have a panel here that's a little bit smaller than my card base, and I'm kind of doing a little bit of arranging. My typewriter is going to go in the center, so I'm just kind of playing with my placement, and then I'm going to take that one slit piece, I'm going to line it up on my panel here, and then die cut that out. And you can see it just creates this perfect slit to slide in your typewriter paper. I went through the back side and pulled it through, and then the blocker, it helps prevent it from coming out all the way, which is so nice. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more of a vintage look using my vintage photo, and I'm going just around the edges of my panel, darkening up those corners just so my card looks a little more vintagey. Once I'm happy with that, I'll just clean off my desk here, and then I think that looks great. Okay, we're going to slide in our typewriter paper, flip our panel over, and then I'm going to add some foam tape. I'm going to add one piece to the very bottom and then two to the top. You don't want to add foam tape directly below your typewriter paper. So if you wanted to pull it down on the back side to use as a guide, you can do that. Just so you don't obstruct your interactive element, you want to leave enough room for it to slide up and down. I'm just removing the release paper, and this is going to go on a standard top folding A2 size card base. Lovely. Okay, now originally I was going to put the flowers on a corner to corner, and then I didn't like the way that looked, so I ended up switching that around. I'm going to bring in some foam tape, and my friend here, she's almost the same color as my typewriter, but she's pacing my desk. You probably can't see most of the pacing, but I think she wants to go outside. But we have a little friend in our project today. So I ended up popping up my flowers and putting it on the top of the typewriter, right behind my sentiment, and then also below it. And then I used one level of foam tape behind the flowers and then two behind the typewriter, so it's a little bit higher. Okay, you can see my message. I stamped the word pool here, and all you see is just a note. I wanted to add a little heart, so I die cut out a circle using that 3-circle die that's in the die set, and then I'm going to add the heart typewriter key and do my little layering with 3 different colors. So my key is my heart is 3 different shades of that yellow. I'm going to add 2 pieces of foam adhesive, doubling it up so it's the same level as my typewriter, and I'm just going to place it to the right. And then for bells and whistles, we're bringing in some gems. These are some real pretty creamy colored gems. I'm going to add them to the center of the flowers. And then for my typewriter keys, I'm using my Nuvo Morning Dewdrops. It's like a glossy accents. I'm going to add them to the typewriter and then also to the little heart here. We're going to shiny it up a little bit. And I'm going over each one of those little keys. I missed a few, and that bothered me, so I went back and filled them all in. But I just love the way this turned out. I love vintage cards anyway, and I love the typewriter in here. All you do is pull up, and you have your secret little message that says hello. I think that's so neat. So, super fun Type Talk stamp set over the Concord 9th shop. I hope you liked my project today. Again, I encourage you to visit the blog. Lots of inspiration over there. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.